Veteran safety and former Miami Dolphin Deshaun Elliott is stirring up quite the buzz after recent comments aimed directly at the Dolphins' culture last year. This isn't just any player gripe or casual critique, this is coming from a man who was once part of this team. He's now with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but his words have Miami fans and sports analysts talking, really talking. While some may be quick to dismiss this as a case of former player, new loyalties, there's something undeniably sharp about Elliott's recent statements. During an episode of Marlon Humphrey's Punchline podcast, Elliott didn't hold back on his thoughts about his experience in Miami, referring to the team as soft as F. Now, think about that for a second. Soft is not a word thrown around lightly in the NFL, a league known for its high-stakes physical and mental intensity. To question the grit of a team, especially one that made the playoffs last year, well, that's bound to ruffle a few feathers. Elliott didn't mince his words either. He said, "I haven't been able to play against Baltimore the way I've wanted to, because last year I played for a team that was soft as F." To him, while there were a few tough individuals, he felt the team overall wasn't a squad of mentally tough players. The timing of these comments couldn't be more perfect for stirring up drama. Elliott and the Steelers are heading into a heated Week 11 matchup against Baltimore, his former team, and he seems more fired up than ever to take on the Ravens, now with the Steelers. But let's get back to the Dolphins, because that's where the real weight of these comments lies. Why, after just 1 year, does Elliott feel so strongly about the Dolphins' supposed lack of toughness? What happened during that season that left him so convinced Miami lacked the mental edge necessary in the NFL? When head coach Mike Mcdaniel was questioned about Elliott's comments, you could almost feel the restraint in his response. McDaniel didn't dodge the question but remained focused on his current team. "I think I am supremely only concerned with the 2024 Dolphins, for sure," he said. He didn't lash out or take the bait, instead framing his response around the challenges this current Dolphins team has already faced. McDaniel spoke about the mental tests the NFL season presents, subtly reminding everyone that the Dolphins have fought hard to stay competitive this year. Look, McDaniel has a point. This season has been anything but easy for the Dolphins. Injuries have plagued their lineup, and the Dolphins have fought through close calls and tough games. Just this past week, they pulled off a hard-fought win after battling through some tough losses, showing grit that shouldn't be ignored. McDaniel highlighted the resilience of his current roster, pointing out that in the last 3 games, they've shown a determination and toughness, at least in his eyes, that speaks volumes about this squad's character. However, Elliott's comment opens up a line of questioning that many in the Miami fan base might not want to confront. Is there truth in his statement? Is there something about last year's Dolphins that left them lacking that hard-nosed, all-in mentality that defines championship teams? After all, last season, the Dolphins made it to the playoffs with an 11-6 record, a respectable run by any measure. But, as we all know, they fell short when it mattered most, bowing out against the eventual Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs in a game where their offense stalled and their defense just couldn't keep up. Elliott didn't stick around long enough to become deeply embedded in Miami's locker room, but he did get a taste of the team culture. And here's the thing, whether his assessment is fair or not, it raises a valid concern. NFL players don't hold back when it comes to respect for grit and toughness, especially mental toughness, which can often mean the difference between a close win and a painful loss. In this league, resilience isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. For Elliott to openly criticize his former team in such a raw way, there's something here that goes beyond personal frustrations. Maybe he didn't feel supported, or perhaps he noticed attitudes or habits that didn't align with what he considers a tough team mentality. Whatever the reason, his criticism is a reminder of the high expectations and demanding nature of NFL culture. The Dolphins, as a franchise, have been working to build an identity that's not just competitive but fierce. But Elliott's comments suggest they may still have some work to do in the mental toughness department. McDaniel, though, clearly isn't letting outside noise distract him. He's locked in on this year's team and has been vocal about the obstacles they've overcome. Losing their star quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa, to multiple injuries last season certainly didn't make things easier, and this year, The team has had to adapt and keep pushing forward without letting those setbacks slow them down. McDaniel's approach has been about focusing on each game, each week, keeping the squad's energy on what they can control now. And let's not forget, McDaniel's style as a coach is unique. He's known for his laid-back demeanor and strong focus on building a positive locker room environment, which has resonated with many of his players. While some may interpret his approach as softer than the traditional NFL coach persona, there's no denying that he's brought stability to a team that has seen its fair share of ups and downs over recent years. McDaniel's response to Elliott's comment shows his determination to stay focused on the team's present and future without letting past players' criticisms derail their journey. The Dolphins fan base, of course, will have mixed reactions. Some will dismiss Elliott's words as nothing more than bitter commentary from a former player now loyal to his current team. Others, however, might take his words to heart, questioning whether there's an underlying issue that needs addressing for Miami to truly rise as a dominant force in the league. As fans look ahead, they'll be watching closely to see how the Dolphins respond to any notion that they lack mental toughness. This season could be their chance to put all doubts to rest, proving they have the resilience, grit, and focus to go the distance.